It's Wednesday morning, January 22nd. The reason I remember the date is that it is my birthday. And on my birthday, I am going to the Las Vegas Convention Center to attend the World of Concrete. After I attend the World of Concrete, I'm having a birthday dinner. So let's go see what's new in the business of concrete. I have been sent to this area where I can pick up a Tesla, which will take me free to a central area where I can pick up a badge. We're going underground to get to Central Hall. The World of Concrete is more than 50 years old as an exhibition. Last year, the attendance was 60,000 people, and there were 1,800 exhibitors. Along with this great trade show, which is inside and outside, there are demonstrations and seminars, and it became an Informa show in 2014. Oh my goodness, look at this underground passage. This is neat, isn't it? I came up the elevator and look at the convention center. It's under construction. This is the Central Hall, I remember. And it looks like we might get our badges in that truck that's mentioned, in that truck that's called World of Concrete, and a couple of concrete mixers and a huge long crane that I suspect can lift concrete to the top of high-rise buildings. Well, it's actually a place to pick up souvenirs if you need a shirt or a sweatshirt or a jacket. This huge truck will sell it to you. Big Daddy's Barbecue is also out in the parking lot here. And look at all the people having barbecue for breakfast. This is Central Hall of World of Concrete, and there was a big sign on the door, badge entrance only. Well, I am going to pick up a badge. And I asked, where do I pick up a badge? Well, you either go to the North Hall, which is a long walk, or the South Hall, which is slightly less, but next door. So in the meantime, I'm taking a picture here of Central Hall. And this is the front yard of the Las Vegas Convention Center, all occupied with exhibits for the show. And it looks mighty crowded. This is the South Hall, where I have finally come to pick up my badge. And you can see it is crowded here. Because I understood the term scaffold, I stopped at EZ Scaffold, and they are located in Columbia, Tennessee. And look at how high these scaffolds go on display. And I asked how high they really go, and the gentleman here said they can construct scaffolds 60 stories high. Wow. I said, well, how do you charge? He says, well, we sell some, we rent some, we install them, we take them down, we do the whole job here in the USA. So I am happy to say I saw EZ Scaffold. Hang on, say it again.
My name's Scott Kelly. I'm with Quick Headers. We're at the World of Concrete 2025, largest commercial construction show on the planet, bar none, I believe.
Okay.
What you're looking at here is we're We have a product called Quick Headers. It eliminates in block construction. There's always an issue with how do we cross over the openings. We can't set blocks in thin air, so they either have to rest on a wood buck or a steel beam. So what we came up with is a removable, reusable form that covers the entire opening.
That's the thing at the top that has your company name on it. Okay.
Very long opening. So here's a shorter version, 2.5 foot.
Some buildings that are like 4 feet.
And the elevator
It would work for elevator openings, every door and window opening, curtain wall glass. It lets us cross over these openings in a more environmentally sensitive way. Saves 60%. It's all about saving money and time on job sites. So we save them 60%. And
what would be the more expensive way to do this?
Doing what we would call a precast or a steel lintel, or as you can see in some of the literature, sometimes they just build a 2x6 wood frame like you might hang sheetrock in your house on.
Okay.
They just do that to cross over. They put rebar and grout on that header because it's called a masonry header or masonry lintel. So they put that in there, and then as soon as it cures or dries and hardens, they have to tear all the wood out, throw it away. It can't be reused.
Okay.
So this is a really innovative, game-changing technology.
Is this new?
Yes.
New this year?
Oh, no. We've been coming to the show for 5 years. But the technology, that's relatively new in the world of construction. I mean, they've been building with blocks since the pyramid. So,
Okay.
It's a little bit different deal.
Okay, Scott. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, dear. You have a great day and enjoy the show.
As well.
Oh, we gotta go outside.
That's not going to cut it. If the crowd isn't any louder than that, I'm not going to put the clock on the Jumbotron. Let's go! I want to hear some noise out there. That's a little better. I think we got to find out just who the world's best bricklayer is, but it's going to be up to you to actually get everybody fired up. We got a team from Australia. We got a team from the UK. We have our regional winners. We have our wild card. And then in stall number 1, we have our 2-time defending champion. In stall number 14, we have our defending top craftsman champion. It's a field of champions, everybody. And we've got names like the Tuttles that have been here, it seems like almost every year.
And what a great day.
Those walls really went up.
Weather-wise. The competitions for the kids went well. The toughest tender was great. Best block, obviously, fastest trail on the block. And then you come out here today, and I don't know, I'm thinking there's going to be a pretty big number out there. I know you saw some of the walls. What's your initial thought as the guys are tooling the walls right now?
There is something called the International Concrete Repair Institute, and this sign was in front of their booth highlighting women in ICRI. Now, in the booth were a bunch of men and one woman.
Any aggregate silicas in the air, so really low dust formula, which is a great benefit to the guys using the product.
So let's see if we can get some interaction with the crowd here. How with a epoxy grout, where would you, does anybody know where you would want to use this type of product in an application? Anybody?
We got a hat on the line.
No, we got a hat. Sorry? In industrial applications, right? Where you need a high performing grout, right?
And yes, orders get written right at the show. And I do understand this sign. It's not wood, it's stamped concrete. And here is an example right in front of me. Here the salesman saying this is a custom logo that you can put on to your concrete. And here is an example of the concrete that looks like wood. Company with all the decorative concrete samples was Proline. Stopped here because I didn't quite know what these were, but a gentleman who was standing nearby explained these are vacuums. And when you are dealing with concrete and grinding it, you get a lot of dust. and you attach a hose, and the white thing at the bottom is a bag, and as the dust accumulates, the bag gets bigger, and you just remove it and tie it off, and you don't have to deal with the dust yourself, only the vacuum part. These vacuums are made in Korea. Familiar name, Sacrete, and look at this huge sign they have. The original bagged concrete mix. What it is you're trying on?
It's an exoskeleton. It's something, it's a system that's going to help you with your back. So
Okay, well let me see. It's
I'm just going to finish attaching it.
okay. An exoskeleton. And I think you said this is a Canadian company?
It's a Canadian company. We're based outside of Montreal.
Okay.
So that's where the team is. So we work on this for many years to come up with the product like this.
Okay, well, it's an odd-looking thing for me, but it would save your back. Is that what you're saying?
It's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. Just like this, I don't even use it to activate it. To activate it, I have to pull these things in. So I pull it out like this, and then I'm tight with my back on.
Okay.
Then if I want to release the elastic, I just flip these little thing here. I can do all my work.
Okay, well, that's a good idea.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's at the Torganol booth, and Torganol is located in Wisconsin, because they had, it looked like coverings for concrete. And what they do is, here's the concrete, here's the primer, and they don't make either of these, but they make the stuff that you would, as she described, one gal that was helping me describe it, broadcast the crystals. In other words, they make those little crystals, and I said, well, you just throw them in the air. She says, right, you throw them in the air until they cover everything. And so she showed me a whole wall of flakes. These are paint chips, etc. Well, I don't know how it all works, but you don't have to have concrete that looks like concrete anymore. I stopped by this sign to ask what exactly is a concrete sealer. Well, it is, as its name implies, you lay the concrete and then you pour after it dries, you pour the sealer over the top, and it will help preserve the concrete. If you lay a driveway, the gentleman said you don't want to just have plain old concrete, you want a sealer. Surf Coat, in business 25 years, is located in Tennessee, near Nashville. I have never thought of recycling brick, but this sign makes me think about it. Brick recycling. Reusing bricks can be done economically and sustainably, saves time and expense, cleans 2 to 8 bricks per minute, can be used on-site, on a work platform, on a scaffold, no percussion, minimum brick loss, easy to use, secure, etc., etc., etc. Company name, FRACO. I spent a lot of time talking to a young man about their sign of low carbon concrete. And he explained to me that the component Portland cement is being used less and less in cement, causing cement hardness to come in below what is necessary if you're putting concrete in the store and there's a million people walking and talking. He kept using the term densifying. We're trying to densify the concrete these days, and yet he was somewhat cautious about where concrete is today, but it was very interesting to know that a term I'm familiar with, Portland cement, is bit by bit being used less and less. Protect concrete, and another sign about stadium, and more about Protect Terrazzo. And then I looked and I asked the woman at this booth, this is, by the way, a Texas company, and she said, we provide protection during construction. And when the project is all finished, the protection goes away, but somebody has to make the protection during construction, and Scudo does it. Sign Mud Mixer, that's the name of the company from Texas, and I had to ask, what is mud? He said, it's concrete. It's just the slang term for mixing concrete. I'll be darned, I learned something every minute. I stopped at this booth because I saw the sign that was familiar, and this is TNT Equipment Inc., and they make everything, the gentleman says, that the workers use when doing work with concrete. Also, the sign says to me that perhaps it's time to say farewell to the world of concrete and my filming today. I'm going to keep going. It's a lot of fun, and there are a lot of men around. I just love it. Anyway, goodbye to World of Concrete 2025.